What's the deal, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another Maniacal Merchant video. I'm Z, and today I'm gonna go over the top 10 things that I learned over the last year of going full-time on eBay. And if you're new to selling on eBay, stick around to the very end as I reveal a bonus tip that'll help you boost your eBay sales. So let's get right into it. One of the very first things that I learned after going full-time on eBay just over a year ago was free shipping was not necessary. If you're like me, you probably think that free shipping is a good idea and it'll put you a step above the competition. But if you're selling used items, majority used items like I am, free shipping is not that necessary. Matter of fact, if you calculate your shipping costs right into your shipping policies, you can actually make money off of the shipping, and that can help out your bottom line. I'll save how I set up my shipping policies and ship the majority of my items for a separate video, but for now, let's get into number 2 of the top 10 things I learned over the last year of selling on eBay. As someone who was new to selling on eBay, I was very wary of getting scammed, especially after hearing all these horror stories on YouTube about people getting scammed by customers. I genuinely believe that most people shopping in my store are average, everyday good people, and they're just looking to get a deal. There are, every once and again, people are gonna pop their little head out and try to see if they can get one over on you. Like I just sold a brand new carpet shampooer. I got a message from the customer a few days later saying they never received the shampoo. Well, when I asked them, I said, do you mean the little shampoo that's in the box? But then they responded, they said, I didn't receive the carpet cleaner. So now I don't know what they're really talking about. Like, did you not receive the whole item? Did you not receive the little bottle of shampoo? Like, what's going on? And then they sent me another message. I told them, I'm like, the item was, the tracking shows that it was delivered to the address you provided. And then they sent me another message saying, it wasn't on my porch. It might have got stolen by thieves. Can you send me another item? Like, I'm not a carpet shampoo salesman. I don't have a warehouse full of these things. You know what I mean? I sell things that I come across, you know, and I usually only have one of those items. So that's beside the point. No, even if I had more, no. How, you know, FedEx, I looked up the tracking number and sure enough, FedEx had sent the picture of the box on their porch. You can file a claim with FedEx or you can file a claim with eBay, but as far as my job is done. So those types of things are very, very seldom. So if you're new to selling on eBay and you're worried about scams, don't worry about it. Do your best to describe the products accurately. Just, you know, be a good person and not try to get one over on people, and people oftentimes won't try to get one over on you. The third thing I learned kind of goes back into the last one, and that's keeping communications short and sweet. That right there not only alleviated a lot of headache, I also saved a lot of time by keeping my communications with the customer short, sweet, to the point. So lesson number 4 that I learned after selling on eBay for a little over a year, you do not have to accept all offers. There's conspiracy theories out there that if you don't accept offers, then eBay will stop sending you offers. I don't believe a lot of that stuff that I hear. You know, I hear that, you know, I like to accept offers, whatever they are, as soon as I wake up, because that lets eBay know that I'm trying to do business. I don't believe that. I learned that you do not have to lowball yourself. There's going to be lowball offers flying all the time, and if you want to be one of those people that believe that you need to accept the lowball offers to get the algorithm going, and you know, you can go ahead and go down that rabbit hole. But I don't believe that accepting lowball offers opens the door for it probably just opens the door for more lowball offers. And if that's the type of business model you're trying to run, hey, that's on you. But just know that you should have a fairly low buy cost or it's gonna eat into your profits. Lesson number 5, when I first started out listing on eBay, it took a lot more time than it should have. Now, I like to sell similar off my own items because the title structure down to the promotion percentage, it's pretty much all filled in correctly. Now I might have to go in there and switch the brand name, the size, the color, and you know, a few item specifics. But the item specifics, I keep those very, very short. I don't fill them all out. When you put too many details in with the item specifics, I feel like that can kind of be like an information overload for the customer. And that also goes for minimizing the item description. That's just what I learned. It's gotten me faster at listing, and it really hasn't affected my sales. I don't get many questions at all about, you know, products, like answering questions that weren't answered in the item specifics. Matter of fact, I haven't had an item not as described since I implemented this new strategy of structuring my listing the way I do. This is another one that used to get me when I was new to eBay. Stressing out when the buyer doesn't pay. You know, I came up with this whole little script that I would send customers after like a day of them not paying. I remember the exact order that I just said, you know what, I'm not gonna stress out about this anymore, because I wanted my money. You know, just like you, I wanted my money. Show me the money! So I remember it was this pair of Oakley frog skin sunglasses that I was selling. It was like day 2, and I messaged the customer. I'm like, are you gonna pay for these? Like, when are you gonna pay for these? They just simply messaged me back, I have 4 days. I'm like, okay. So, wow, they told me, because they do. That was how my policy was set up. After 4 days, eBay automatically cancels the order and will relist the item for me. So on that 4th day, literally like the 11th hour, they ended up paying, and I ended up getting my money. Honestly, if I wanted to get as a consumer, if I want to get a deal, but I don't have the funds in my account, or whatever the case may be, my debit card or whatever, until, you know, 3 or 4 days from now, I want to jump on the deal, but I still want to have time to pay for it. That's why I don't trip on it as much. There are times that people will buy things and then never pay for them, and then it'll get automatically relisted, and I don't even have to worry about it. And I always block that customer. Now, I can't stress this next lesson enough. Keep your buy cost low. That's something that I remind myself constantly when I'm out there sourcing, because not only will it allow you to undercut the market and sell your items for cheaper than everybody else, but it will also reduce the amount of risk you take on. Now, when I'm only spending $1.99, that's my average buy cost is $2. I'm able to get 750% off of that. I just have to find items that most people would want. A pair of Levi's, $1.99, those go for about, I sell mine for about 15 bucks. You'll find people trying to sell them for over 20 on eBay, but I'm able to sell mine faster than them because I'm selling mine significantly cheaper than everyone else. Why? It's because I kept my buy cost low. There is one caveat, and the caveat is make sure that it's in good condition. That's my business model, and it seems to be working fine for me. And this kind of goes right into the next lesson, which is don't get addicted to sourcing. That was one pitfall that I fell down when I first started on eBay, and it was before I even started selling on eBay. I was sourcing. I wouldn't say don't source before you start selling, because that's what I did, only because number one, I had the space. Number two, a lot of the stuff I was sourcing was for free. Yes, source as much as you'd like, but, and this is what I'm telling myself, not necessarily you, don't get addicted to sourcing, because it can be fun. The treasure hunt is awesome. We all like to do it. That's the majority of the stuff people like to do. Next lesson I learned was do not stress out about returns. Now, I've had my share of returns. Majority of them, my fault. Now, since I've implemented that mindset, I've gotten significantly less returns because I've changed my procedures in ways that allow me to reduce my level of returns. So I really don't stress out about returns. And one more thing I'd say about that is I can actually show you instances where I still made money even though the item was returned. You're only refunding the customer the subtotal minus the fees for everything, but you're not refunding if you're using paid shipping. And this goes back to my lesson number 1. If I was to do free shipping, now I wouldn't get this benefit. I would just take a hit on the shipping. But because the customer paid for shipping, they're not getting that shipping refunded, but I'm getting the fees that I was charged against the shipping and the the item together, I'm getting that whole fee refunded. So I hope that makes sense. The final lesson that I learned that I hope doesn't come off too ironic is don't believe everything you hear on YouTube. There's so many people coming up with so many different conspiracy theories about you have to list this many items every day or eBay's algorithm is gonna shadow ban you and you're not gonna make as many sales as you could have. I will say this, yes, listing every day probably generate you more sales. Why is that? Because there's more items for sale. It's not because eBay says, oh, this guy's freaking pumping out items. Let's look out for him because he's throwing more items in the store. Let's get his items selling. No, it's your old items that we're gonna sell anyway, plus your new items that are selling immediately. Now you're getting more sales than you would have had you had not listed. That's what it is. It's not eBay is happy with you because you're working every day. eBay doesn't care about you. The only thing eBay cares about is its customers. The point is, don't even listen to me. Figure it out on your own. You can become successful. You can become successful with your own strategy. Come up with a competitive advantage that places you above the rest. I'll tell you right now, my competitive advantage is my ability to source items at a very, very low cost. So now I am able to undercut the market because I bought them cheaper than everyone else. My point is, don't believe everything you hear on YouTube. Whatever the case may be, you have to do what's best for you in your situation. You can't go off of everybody else's playbook because we're not all playing the same game. Now, as promised, this last bonus tip is for you new eBay sellers, and that's the topic of sell-through rate. What a lot of people are gonna tell you is sell-through rate. Sell-through rate is the amount of items sold divided by the amount of items that are listed. But it's not everything, and that's my point. Sell-through rate is not everything. There's various factors that you should also consider when you're considering how viable an item is. You should be considering your condition. Yours has a major hole in it, it's missing a zipper. Yours isn't gonna sell as fast as everyone else's. What if you only have 70% feedback? People might not wanna buy from you. Your item's probably gonna sell slower than everyone else's. So that's why I say sell-through rate is not everything. People are on YouTube telling you only get like the 100% sell-through rate. Look, you can listen to whoever you want to. When it comes down to it, now the only thing I emphasize is keeping a low buy cost, keeping the quality of my listings high, and keeping the quality of my customer service high. And hey, seems to be working for me. So here's another video if you like this one. And if you found this one helpful at all, go ahead and smash that like button. Also, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. It's the best way to show your support. Comment down below. I do read all the comments. And until next time, go be the money!